everyone, so I have Miss Winona here with me today and she's looking so cute. I almost don't want to take this adorable little overall outfit off of her, but it is time to switch things up a little bit for the summertime. I can definitely feel those summer vibes, so I decided to bring out this adorable Gymboree blanket. And then today I'm going to be changing her into this cute little ruffle top by starting out. And then I also have with me the little ruffle butt bottoms. They are so cute. This is usually a little bit more frilly than what I put on Winona, but it is just so sweet that I couldn't pass it up. I think she's worn it once already, and I remember it being very cute on her. However, I also remember that like the armholes are pretty big, and so it shows her cloth a little bit. So I'm just gonna have this white sleeve onesie to go underneath. And anyway, I hope that you guys are staying nice and cool, and hopefully you guys are starting to get that summer weather. I know this is always my favorite time of year when everything starts getting green, and the pools are going to be opening soon, which I'm super excited about. But anyway, on with the subject for today. I feel like I always talk about like the weather at the start of every video, and I don't know why. I guess it's like sort of relevant because of the clothing, but anyway. So today we're going to be talking about a fun topic. We are going to be talking about the must-haves in finding a new reborn baby, or at least my must-haves. I think that everyone's are kind of different, but as I've gotten more and more babies, I've kind of figured out more of what I like and what I look for when I'm buying a new doll. And I'm not currently looking, even though I kind of am getting that like itch, like I want a new doll at some point in time, but I don't want to give up any of my babies right now, and so I'm kind of putting it on hold for a little bit. But it's just been kind of something that I was like thinking about, that I was just like, I definitely go for certain features and I can tell right away if it's a doll that I'm going to like, or if I should, carry on with my search. So I'm going to kind of talk about these features from head to toe. I don't know why, it just seemed like the best way to do it. So one of the first and most important features for me is the hair. I am totally obsessed with my doll's hair. Before, I used to have a huge, strong preference for rooted hair. And I still kind of prefer rooted hair a little bit over the painted hair. I do think that both kind of have their benefits and drawbacks, and I can make a whole separate video about that if you guys are interested, because I don't want to go on like a full rant. This video is supposed to be like a little bit of a shorter video. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that sort of discussion. But yeah, I think that the hair, it is so important for it to be realistic, because since it's on the head, it's one of the first features that you see. And so I think one of the biggest things for me is if it's painted, it has to look very realistic, and the direction of the hair has to be like a way for it to be like normal, in my opinion. Like if it is in like perfect like S waves, it looks really cool. But I don't really think that's always like how actual baby's hair looks. So if it kind of has like, a nice curve to it, like Winona's does, but it's not like too thickly painted or like unnatural looking, I think that's a really big deal for me. If it's rooted, I definitely do have a strong preference towards having like fewer hairs per hole, like not necessarily mono rooted, because I think that's like a bit extreme, but the more hairs that you put in one hole, the more kind of like pluggy it looks, and I can actually see that in pictures now. And so I definitely have a stronger preference towards like only having like a couple hairs or one hair per plug, and having a smaller needle to do that, because I definitely have seen a lot of my older dolls where the vinyl was left soft and they didn't quite get down the mono rooting quite yet, and it is pretty pluggy. So I definitely see that now and avoid it. Another thing that I really look at when it comes to hair are the eyebrows. A lot of the times, like, you don't want eyebrows that look like they're like, like freshly drawn, like adult eyebrows, right? I think it takes a lot of artistic talent to make them look subtle yet realistic. So for an example, like Winona's eyebrows, since she has very dark hair and darker features, I think her artist did a great job of making her eyebrows a little bit more subtle. And by the way, her artist is Holly Paz. And so I think that they are perfect, in my opinion. I think that it's okay if lighter haired babies don't have eyebrows, or if their eyebrows are extremely subtle. Like, I know that you probably can't see Bowie's eyebrows on camera, even though he does have them, but a lot of like really light-haired newborn babies, you can't see them anyway. So I think that's also kind of like important, is if the baby has really dark hair, that's more like a feature that I look for, whereas if they have lighter hair, then it's better if they have little to no eyebrows. So that's a pretty big deal for me. And yeah, one of the things that I'm probably the most picky about, which is kind of weird, but anyway, carrying on. The next thing is going to be about like facial hair again, but here we go. Are eyelashes. Eyelashes are like such a big deal for me. They have to be rooted. Like, I've had dolls that have had the glue-on lashes, and they just don't compare. They don't compare whatsoever. They look so much less realistic, and now I can't do them. And so I either like, yeah, rooted lashes in whatever color the hair is totally my way to go. Even like no lashes, I think it just looks odd. I mean, if the baby, like closed eyes, if they have closed eyes, it looks weird without eyelashes. If they have open eyes, I think you can kind of get away with it. But yeah, every closed eye baby that I had, they had to have the rooted lashes. That is a big thing for me, and I think it's just like one of those little details that really just puts the cherry on top. And then sort of going down a little bit more is the eyes. So as you guys know, I sort of go for sleeping babies because I love the peaceful expressions. That's definitely a big thing for me. But I have had a couple dolls with their eyes open, and I have found over the years that I have to do the glass eyes. I've tried the porcelain, I've tried the porcelain, and I've tried the acrylic, and they just don't compare. They're so much cheaper, but it is totally worth the $50, 110%. Yeah, the glass eyes, they just add so much realism. Like, you look into them, and it's like kind of a little freaky because it's so amazing. I don't know. If you haven't experienced glass eyes yet, you have to, because they are gorgeous. And yeah, another thing that I had on this like list, which I kind of already talked about, is I do really like peaceful faces, whether they're open-eyed or closed-eyed. This hobby is very relaxing for me, and so I'm not too big on like the dolls that are laughing or crying. It's just like, it's too much energy for me. After like a long day, that's the last thing I want. Like, I just want something like peaceful to hold. And I don't mind like, you know, a little bit of like a scrunchy face, like, you know, they're starting to wake up. But any sort of like high arousal is not my thing. There are some beautiful, beautiful dolls out there that are sculpted so well that, you know, the doll is smiling, or they have their tongue full out and they're in like, you know, full scream mode. And I think that requires a lot of talent, but that is just totally not my thing. So I love, love, love these sweet, peaceful faces. And sometimes people think that's kind of vanilla and kind of boring, and I get that, but that is totally something that I look for, without a doubt. I'm not even gonna lie. Moving on down to the rest of the body, I think that nails are a huge deal for me. More and more as I've been in the hobby for longer, I really look at the way that an artist paints the nails, because they are such a tiny, tiny feature. And if they can get a lot of detail within that tiny space, I know that the rest of the doll is going to be pretty good, if that makes sense. Like, that's kind of like my like indication of how much experience the artist has with like small detail. Because if it looks like a you know, freshly manicured nail that you get at your nail salon, you know, with like the thicker, what is this white part called? Can't think of the word right now, but anyway, thicker part of that, that's totally unrealistic for a newborn baby. Even a toddler isn't going to have like, you know, that white of nails. So I think color is very important there. Winona's are beautiful. She even like has sort of like the red, like with the nail bed, very newborn like, an extremely impressive detail. And I think that Bowie's are a great example. If you want to look at the details video that I made with him, I will link it down below. And you can see he has textured nail beds. So his nails have the like tiny little ridges. It is incredible. So yeah, that's a big thing I look for and really shows an artist's level of skill in my opinion. And you know, no disrespect to the artists who are newer and haven't got that technique down yet. You know, everyone has to start somewhere. And so, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just definitely personal preference. The next thing would just be like coloring. I mean, that's kind of like the whole baby, but I guess we'll just throw it in here since we're already talking about like nail detail. I really do look for good levels of coloring on my dolls. I think that the peaches and cream style is very beautiful and it looks like fantastic for toddlers, but I usually go for, you know, the younger baby kits. And I like a lot of mottling, like Winona has on her legs. I like a lot of really dark newborn coloring, a lot of reds. I think that that's beautiful. Yeah, the little details and everything are a huge deal to me. I love these like little bruises that she has. And same thing with Bowie, just his coloring is so beautiful. He has like the right like tone of red and all the right spots, and I totally look for that. I think a lot of this like really rich coloring is just amazing, especially seeing like the side-by-side comparisons of a blank vinyl kit versus the end product. I think that that is so cool and amazing. And yeah, this is like a harder one for me to describe because I feel like I know it when I see it. Last but not least is I am a huge fan of full legs. The arms I don't care quite as much about because a lot of these cute little dresses and everything require an undershirt anyway. However, I think that legs are just so important. I love the little details. I love how hers like curl around. On Bowie's, I love his little rolls. They are an important feature for me, and I definitely could not do without the full legs. I've had dolls without, and it was just so hard for me to find outfits for them, and I probably would not want to go down that route again. Even though they are a little bit more cuddly, I'm a big fan of these sort of details for sure. So that is about it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching today. I would love to hear in the comments below, what are your kind of like must-haves when you're shopping for a Reborn? You know, what's kind of like your deal breakers? When you see it, you're just like, oh, I love this doll because they have this, this, and this, or oh, I can't get this doll because they have this sort of feature, and I already know that I don't like that feature. And so yeah, I would be very interested because everyone is so different. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you in the next video. All right, bye everyone.